Hello everyone, welcome to a little writing night in my life. I last did one of these videos like a month ago and it was very impromptu at that time, and again today it's very impromptu. I wasn't planning on filming anything, but here I am. It's 8:24 at night. I'm actually pretty tired, so tell me why I'm even filming this right now, but I just really wanted to write tonight. I have not written in 2+ weeks. I actually haven't even filmed in also 2+ weeks. The last 2 videos I filmed were pre-recorded weeks ago, and so I feel a little rusty, not gonna lie, but girl, these past few weeks, this whole month, dare I say this whole year so far, has been a struggle. I don't even know where to start. And I'm not even probably going to start just because I could be here and sit and talk about how hard this past few months has been, but I'm not gonna do that. I'm just going to try my best to work through it and think of the bright side for things, because just lately I've been so anxious, and I've been trying my best when I feel anxious to distract myself and to do things that I love doing. I really truly feel like the things that help me with like de-stressing the most is doing things I used to do as a child. So reading books, watching comfort shows, doing things that are just like very nostalgic for me. I really like doing that, and I feel like it helps me a lot, and because it does take me out of whatever I'm experiencing. And I feel like sometimes trying to find the balance of like distracting myself versus like feeling all the feels and going through whatever you're going through can be difficult, because I don't think you should just like suppress emotions at the same time. But I feel like it's been not long enough, because like what is the time period? I mean, maybe at least for anxiety, right? Because I feel like I've been feeling more things than just anxiety. Like I've been grieving a passing of somebody, and so that's something that I do feel like is important to like feel and all that. But the anxiety, I feel like, is coming from a plethora of sources, so that we ain't trying to feel that. We just trying to throw that in the trash. But anyways, like I said, I have not written in weeks, and I want to get back into this world, and I want to continue making progress on my sweet little story. So that's what we're gonna do tonight. When I initially thought about making this video, I was thinking like, oh, let me just reach 1,000 words or finish the scene. That can be my goal for tonight. But honestly, girl, we're not gonna have any goals. We're just gonna sit down, we're gonna write, and we're gonna be happy with whatever we put down, because that is an accomplishment in and of itself. I know that I wanted to like make more progress soon, and I knew I was gonna start actually giving myself like deadlines and trying to reach certain points in my book, but like life happens, you know what I mean? So you can't beat yourself up, and thankfully I haven't. Like I'm so okay with not writing these past few weeks, because I can't control, and I couldn't control, the things that were happening in life. So all I can do is all I can do, and now I'm gonna just write and see what I can put down on this document. And I feel like no matter what I put down, I'm just gonna be very happy for it, because I miss my friends. So yeah, and then I think maybe at the end of the video I can give you a little book, not a book haul, but show you a book that I got that I had no business getting, and talking about a book that I just finished reading. But we can maybe do that a little bit later. Let's go ahead and write this gosh darn book. Ooh. Okay, so before I give a writing update, I wanted to give a little reading update slash share a book that I just got. So I have not started Fourth Wing. I have not read Iron Flame. I know nothing about the series beyond a girl ends up being like a dragon something when she wanted to be a scribe or something like that. I don't even know. All I know is that I've been seeing Onyx Storm everywhere, specifically the special editions, and I wasn't gonna buy it, but the more I see it, I'm getting influenced. And I was like, I'm not gonna do it. I'm just thinking about it. I'm not gonna do it. I did it. And I am so happy I did, because this is supposed to be $33 for the sprayed edges and this whole special edition. And your girl got it for $19.27. I went to BJ's Wholesale and I found it, and I was like, oh, this is the 3rd book in a series. Why am I going to buy this book? But I did. And this is my very first book that has sprayed edges. I've never had a book like this before, so I'm so excited, and I'm glad that I got it for 41% off. I was like, heck yeah, girl. I also noticed on Amazon they also have the special editions for $19. I think it's like $19.99 or something. So I will put the link in the description if I can still find it and it's still here. But yeah, I am obsessed with this, and I have no plans of reading it this year just because I know that in this series there's lots of cliffhangers, and so many people have said that they had to reread book 1 and 2 to even like get into the 3rd book, and I don't want to be one of those people and have to wait years to finish a series. So from my understanding, there's gonna be 5 books, so I will not be picking this up for another like 2 years. So yeah, but I'm really happy that I got it, and she's just gonna be sitting pretty on my shelf until the day comes. And I never thought I would be one of those girls who have like a large TBR, and I still don't have a large physical TBR, but I just couldn't resist. It was just too good of a price. So yeah. Then next, I wanted to give a quick little reading update because I did share the books I wanted to read in February, and I finished one of them. It was Lipsticks and Camera Clicks, and it was like a love triangle book about this girl who loves her best friend and then also gets feelings for this like actor guy, and she ends up going on a reality show where the actor guy is the Bachelor. It's pretty much the Bachelor, to be honest. Initially, I was kind of really bored with this book. I felt like it was going slow and I wasn't a huge fan, but when I tell you it got messy and like the drama was keeping me invested, girl, there are so many things about the book. Not so many, I'm being dramatic, but were a lot of things about the book that I wasn't a huge fan of, from like grammar mistakes, spelling mistakes, like even like names of characters that were spelled wrong. I was like, why are we spelling characters' names wrong? You know what I mean? There was some like unnatural dialogue and like pretty much like monologues that just weren't necessary. Honestly, I'm kind of tearing it apart right now, but I loved it, and I gave it a 4 stars simply because of how it made me feel. Like, it was not the most well-written book. It wasn't amazing, and honestly too, like the reason for who she picked made no sense because she was trying to like pretty much justify why she chose the other person or why she didn't choose this one person, and it didn't make enough sense. It was more so like, oh, they feel this way for me, when I'm like, he didn't even say that, so like why are you jumping to conclusions? Either way, the author is coming up with a 2nd book for the guy she didn't choose and his love story, so I'm excited for that. But anyways, that's just a quick little reading update. Thank you for staying tuned if you're just here for the writing. But I wrote about 200 words in the what time is it? I'm too lazy to get my phone, so I think it's like been an hour, honestly. But yeah, I did 200 words. A lot of the hour was because of research. I've been doing a lot of research, and I talked about this too in a few writing sprints or lives I did a couple weeks ago, which was honestly the last time I wrote. And honestly, even those live streams I was in, and I talk about this a lot, when I'm doing live streams, I can't get the most out of my writing. Like, I'm worried about how I look, I'm thinking about people watching me, and my mind just isn't in it. And if it is right when I'm getting in the flow, it stops. I think the most I got in any of those sprints was 400 words, which is not bad. That's very good, but I don't even think the quality was all that great. But anyways, 200 words, I feel like the quality was pretty good, and I did a lot of research in it as well. So I'm not tired yet, so I'm going to keep writing and give you a final update by the end of the night. But yeah, I've been reading a lot, like I said before, to help with like my mood and stuff like that. And honestly, reading books helps me so much with writing, and like being able to identify and like kind of critique books and see what I like, what I don't like. Like the last book that I read and the current book that I read, there's so many things that I'm taking note of to be aware of, like things that I didn't even, because like I don't know, a lot of books I read are from authors who this is like not their first book. Right now I'm reading books where I'm pretty sure it's like the author's like 1st or 2nd book. And honestly, let's maybe go ahead and take a minute to just talk a little bit about like traditional publishing versus indie publishing and all that stuff, because I know that there is a stigma about like indie authors, their books and the quality is not that great or whatever the stigma is. I really don't care, but I really feel like, because I've read some great books by indie authors, most of the time I'm probably reading a book from an indie author because I do love Kindle Unlimited. Maybe like 50-50 between indie author or traditional pub. But like I said, I read great ones from indie, I read terrible ones from trad, great ones from from trad, terrible ones from indie. But I just think the thing is with indie publishing is I'm reading a lot of people's first books, and I don't mind. Like I don't care if it's their first book or not. I will give it a chance if it sounds interesting to me. And so while I'm reading these people's maybe first or second, because I rarely do that deep research about the author, I do notice things that I'm like, okay, I feel like this is the difference between a newbie author and like a seasoned author. And as a newbie author myself, I'm really trying to like identify these things so that I cannot do it in my book. Because as a reader, I'm picking up on things that I didn't even know were something that was maybe not preferable, at least to me, or like an easy thing to overlook and stuff like that. So yeah, I'm having a lot of fun with Kindle Unlimited and reading indie authors. And even right now, I'm currently reading a book, and at the moment right now, I don't like it, and I'm 50% in. Like I think over 50% in. But it's supposed to be like a Princess Diaries meets Twisted Games book with the girl who finds out she's a princess and crowned to be queen in this make-believe country, and she ends up falling in love with her bodyguard. But right now it's giving falling in lust. Like they're very attracted to each other and falling in love, but they don't know anything about each other, and that's what's driving me crazy. It's highlighting for me. I'm like, okay, are my characters actually getting to know each other? Are they falling in love for physical appearance or something deeper? And I'm really trying to make sure that they know each other on a deeper level, because right now in this book that I'm reading, they don't know anything about each other beyond I'm your bodyguard and you're the princess, you're the crowned princess, and like that's it. Internally, right, like we know more about their struggles and what they're going through and all this stuff because it's dual POV, but like to each other they have no idea. And I'm just very curious to know if they'll ever know their deepest, darkest secrets or the things that keep them up at night and like their struggles. Like I don't know. And like they don't have any deep conversations. It's just all like, oh my god, he's so hot, she's so like curvy, like, and I'm losing it. I'm really losing it. Am I gonna keep reading it? Absolutely. But it's just very frustrating because I would like something with more substance. But anyways, that's just one example. Maybe I'll update you guys on that book whenever I finish it to see if I am enjoying it or not. Though I don't think that this book can become higher than a 2-star, if I'm being honest. Just because they're already falling in love and they don't know anything about each other. And also, now that I think about it, since we're just gonna be so freaking for real, I sometimes have a hard time with like wanting to be an author tuber and a book tuber because I want to share my honest opinions, and sometimes I tear books apart and I don't want to ever come off that way. You know, I would hate if someone did that to me, but like I'm trying to make sure that when I tear books apart or like criticize, I feel like that's a better way to go about it. It's very objective and has nothing to do with like author or like saying anything malicious. So hopefully I don't do that. I don't think I do, because a lot of the times I'm attacking the characters. The author is kind of like on a different realm to me sometimes, because I see characters as real people. I'll be like, why didn't you just communicate better? Why is this miscommunication? Because I see it as like a real person messing up. And sometimes I think to myself, I'm like, oh, is it unprofessional of me to be like critiquing my peers? I don't know. Are they my peers? I guess so. But it's also just sharing my honest opinion. But I guess at the end of the day, a lot of times I hear people give reviews of books and everything that they hate about it might be everything that I love about it. So I guess it's just up to the reader to decipher if this is a book that they would enjoy themselves or not. But sometimes being on the internet can be tricky, because I'm like, I want to talk about books that I read, but what if I don't like it? It can be hard. Anyways, let me keep writing and then give y'all my final writing update. Let's see what I can do, because I'm feeling really not energized, but I still have enough energy to keep going. And talking is so nice. Like I haven't sat down, guys, and talked. I haven't done a writing vlog actually in a long time, because the last writing vlog I did was pre-filmed like and edited like a week or two before I even uploaded it. So it's been a long time since I've been able to sit and talk about writing, at least like in our little writing vlog. I'm so glad to be back, even though maybe for you it hasn't felt like very long. Anyways, let's keep writing. So first things first, it is past midnight. I am so tired and I need to go to sleep. Second, I wrote 1,200 words. What? I'm pretty sure at the beginning of this video I said something about like having 1,000 words or something was like being too much, and I'm just trying to write and be happy with it. Girl, like I wrote 1,200 and the words just came out, which is so crazy. And I'm so happy because I was like going through what I was going through, right? But then also I was in a scene that I felt like was intimidating to me. Like it's not one that was going to be overly complicated, or I mean it could have been overly complicated, but I knew I didn't want to. But yeah, I just was kind of intimidated by it, so I kind of just delayed it. It would only write a couple words here and there if I did write. But I finished half of the chapter that has like one big scene, and then I'm about to write another big scene. And honestly, I feel like this is the biggest hurdle for me, because once I finish this scene, then I feel like it's gonna be maybe smoother sailing from here, because I will know how I want to format it, because there's a lot of things going on pretty much. I'm too tired to really try to explain it, but I'm so glad that I was able to write, and I'm tired, but I'm happy. There was a point I was gonna make and now my brain is freezing. I think something too that helps, and I always knew that in revision things are gonna get better and yada yada yada, but I always had a hard time with like actually moving forward unless something was like as good as I think it can get. And right now, like especially with descriptions, I don't know all the descriptions, and I don't want to have to always like stop and like try to figure things out. Sometimes I just want to write, so I've been more comfortable with just putting in brackets and saying insert this vibe, I want it to look like this, but figure out the wording later. Like that saves me so much time, and I don't need to figure it out all right now. And it's honestly the description parts that is the problem. Like with dialogue or whatever, I'm good. Expressing feelings, I'm good. But sometimes with descriptions of like places, I don't even know. But yeah, I'm really glad I can just be like, girl, here are the vibes, figure it out later, and then just keep kind of pushing on there. I'm thinking of possibly doing a writing challenge at some point. Not right now, because I don't want to push myself when I'm fragile right now. But I do think I want to do a writing challenge maybe in the next month or two. I think that might be kind of fun. Just to like kind of challenge myself and see what I can actually accomplish. And honestly, like, yes, I did Nano or the writing challenge in November, but I feel like I could do better. So maybe at some point I will do it, and maybe nothing associated with any like Nano or anything, just strictly me in my own month, my own parameters, everything, so I don't have to worry about what everyone else is doing. I'm just gonna do me. So yeah, we'll see if I end up doing that. But yeah, I keep saying I'm happy, but I'm just really happy because I just was not expecting to like write so much. And I think just because, well, for one, I was writing in all the places that I enjoy writing in. Like I talked about this before, but writing sprints just ain't for me. And I love it when I can just like sit on the floor or sit on my bed or just sit somewhere that makes me comfortable and write. Because when I'm in a new position, because I always sit in that chair when I'm live streaming. I hate sitting in that chair to write. It's not the best, but this is the best place for me to live stream. So I just make do. And I don't care about like word count when I'm live streaming or anything like that. I just really care about talking to everybody. So it's not that serious, but it just goes to show just how writing in your best circumstances, I guess, and positions and locations and everything is important. Anyways, I am tired. I feel like I had something I wanted to say, but I am too tired to really remember what that thing was. Ooh, I think I just remembered. Okay, duh. When I was writing, it was so nice because I love bringing things back from things that were mentioned previously into like what I'm currently writing, or just take note because I want to bring this thing back. And while I was writing today, there has been like so many moments where I was like, yes, bringing things back, but also I'm doing things that I don't even know I'm doing. That doesn't make sense, but hear me out. I don't want to give this away. Okay, how do I say this? Okay, there are certain characteristics, right, between these two characters, and they're very opposites, like light and dark, day and night, yin and yang type vibes, right? That was an animal. Anyways, they have very different vibes, and I already knew that I wanted these people to have different vibes, but I didn't know how opposite it was going to be. And like even when I'm writing, there are certain things that are showing up that just highlight this one character while also highlighting a different character, because I guess it's just showing like the opposites. By doing that, it's the juxtaposition, that's pretty much what I'm trying to say, of these two characters. And even in the language that I use, beyond just like descriptions and just like certain things, I'm like, oh my god, god, the symbolism, and it's happening like accidentally, and it just makes me so excited because I'm like, I didn't even mean for this to happen, but I love it. I really love it. And I was rereading something previous chapter and I was getting so excited. I was like, oh my god, I snapped. And I know I talk about this all the time. Like if I read something that I wrote before and I think I did a good job, I'm going to celebrate the heck out of that thing because I have so much doubt all the time when I'm writing. I'm like, I don't know if I can finish this book. I've written like tens of thousands of words already, but like this is hard. Like how do I make a whole book? Yada yada yada. But I don't know. When I see something that I really enjoy, I'm really happy and I celebrate it. And I do come across trash, don't get it twisted, but like I'm glad that I don't let that have like negative self-talk when I see that. Like I just see it, I'm like, I'll fix it later. It's not that deep to me. But then when I write something good, it is that deep to me. So I'm really glad that it worked out that way, and I'm really excited with how I'm writing these characters and how like the symbolism is symbolizing. And even like another like side character, I love him. I know I've talked about him before, but like he was a random character that I made and I love him. He's like my favorite, if not one of my top favorites for sure, because he's just such a nice guy. He's not a part of the love triangle, but yeah, I really like it. And I never thought that I would be someone who would write a book that's so character driven. I thought I would be more of a plot driven girl, and this book has good plot, I think, but also the characters, y'all. Like I love every single one except maybe one I could definitely do better with her, but yeah, I'm like, oh my god, I love a good character driven story. So yeah, anyways, I'm tired as hell, so I'm gonna go to bed. If you made it this far, let's put a moon emoji. I think I did that for the last night writing vlog, but it's okay. We're just gonna go ahead, put a moon emoji. I like the crescent moon if you're feeling a little extra. But I will see you guys in my next writing vlog. I think that's gonna be the next video because I really want to write. So I hope you guys have a wonderful day or night, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.